Welcome to the Fit Metabolic Health channel. And so today I'm going to go over a few concepts regarding your metabolism and so how it relates to the Autophagy Garage concept. We'll be going over some key concepts like insulin resistance, metabolic flexibility, autophagy, and proteostasis. And so if you stay with us to the end, you'll see how these metabolic processes in your body are really controlled and can be looked at in a different way through the lens of the Autophagy Garage. But before we get into the Autophagy Garage concept, we want to first understand that there's a sugar burning system in our body and a fat burning system in our body. And so here we have the sugar burning system in your body, and here the fat burning system in your body. So as you guys probably know, carbohydrates spike your insulin the most, while protein and fat don't as much. So on the sugar burning side, we're also showing that glucose is going to ATP. So this is really focusing on energy production for the body. So, but fat burning side is a whole different ballgame. That's where we can access our cellular cleaning. So most people have some degree of metabolic dysfunction in their body, so they're stuck in sugar burning mode. So you're constantly converting glucose to ATP, and then that converts to fat if you don't use that energy. So we really want to get to the point where we're metabolically flexible, where we're accessing sugar burning and fat burning. And so we really only access our cellular cleaning when we're in fat burning mode. So we're going from fat to ketones, and so that's how we're producing energy. We talked about the sugar burning mode and the fat burning mode, and so we now want to look how these pieces integrate into the Autophagy Garage. And so you can think of the Autophagy Garage as first an overall representation of insulin resistance, but also a place where your cellular cleaning crew, your Mitophagy Pacman and Autophagy Streetsweeper, go when they are not in use, which for most people is a lot of the time. So what happens with insulin resistance and in the Autophagy Garage is that our sugar burning mode here really locks in our cellular cleaning crew, the Mitophagy Pacman and Autophagy Streetsweeper. So high insulin resistance. So here we have our sugar burning mode. They're trapping in Mitophagy Pacman and Autophagy Streetsweeper. And so the chains are also talking about the addictive nature of carbs, where you have one or two bites of ice cream, you end up having the whole tub. And so how carbs can be quite addictive. And this process of being locked in sugar burning mode, the consequences of that is that our cellular cleaning crew isn't getting out. And so this is now a visual representation of insulin resistance, which has other names like type 2 diabetes or prediabetes, hyperinsulinemia, metabolic syndrome. And so this is a problem here. And so like we talked about, only 12% of the population is metabolically flexible. So 88% of the population has a problem in this area to more or less a degree. So we also now want to talk about, okay, why have Pacman and Streetsweeper as metaphors for autophagy, which is our self-eating, fat-burning, and cellular cleaning mode. So here we have, the different dimensions and areas that autophagy can clean up in our body. So we have metabolic disease, pulmonary disease, neurodegenerative, vascular, cancer. And so we have the Mitophagy Pacman fits in here because we want this video game metaphor of the different levels of enabling autophagy. So we have fasting, exercise, nutrition, sleep, and stress management. So the level of autophagy, so for instance, if we're exercising and have good nutrition, but our sleep is terrible and we're stressed out, we can't enable autophagy as much because we're getting high cortisol and insulin from the stress. Our sleep is dysregulated, and so that is messing up with our cellular cleaning. So really, if we get all five, the fasting, exercise, nutrition, sleep, and stress, we're enabling autophagy and cellular cleaning the most. And so that's kind of the idea with the Pacman and the self-eating and that. And so now if we look at from the Streetsweeper angle, we kind of look at from the alternate side parking theory of metabolic health, where we're looking at, you know, the cars need to move every couple days to clean the street, and this sugar burning system needs to move and get out every couple days so that your cellular cleaning crew can get out and do their job. And so that's the idea with the Streetsweeper, is the alternate side parking and fasting and exercising several times a week. Here I have 16-hour fast 2 to 3 times a week, and then exercising. And so this is from my personal experience where I have the energy, I had the most energy and feeling the best when I'm doing this fasting and exercising. I do not have a specific study on this that I'm pointing to. This is more from personal experience. And so, you know, talk to your doctor if looking at your metabolic health through this lens is good for you. So again, from my experience here, I have, when you're going to your doctor every year to get your blood work done, you're going to mainly look at how good you are in the sugar burning and fat burning mode based on your hemoglobin A1C levels and your fasting glucose. And so I have these laid out in this chart here, 2023 and 2024. And so you can see I'm creeping up to the pre-diabetes level in the A1C, which is 5.7 is the threshold for pre-diabetes. And so this is a perfect example of how, you know, you need to manage your blood sugar. You want that stable blood sugar to stay out of the insulin resistant autophagy garage. So there are many ways to measure insulin resistance and your blood sugar levels in addition to the A1C and fasting glucose. You know, we have triglyceride levels, and so this chart here and fasting insulin, and so you can get in a more nuanced way to measure your insulin resistant levels. Insulin resistance metabolic health is kind of the keystone, one of the keystone pillars to a healthy body, because of all of these different diseases that high insulin and high blood sugars can create in your body over time. So these are chronic, non-communicable diseases that develop over time from dysregulated blood sugar levels and insulin resistance here. So for instance, we have obesity, breast cancer, colon cancer, non-alcoholic fatty liver disease. So all of these different diseases, our risk is increased for them the more our body looks like this autophagy garage, where the sugar burning system is really controlling and locking in our cellular cleaning guys. So we want to get out of the insulin resistance autophagy garage and then get into the metabolically flexible autophagy garage that we'll talk about in a moment. We wanted to go over with the autophagy garage now is, okay, so now what happens that, okay, we're stuck in sugar burning mode, we got some cobwebs, so our cellular cleaning guys are not getting out much, and they're blocked by all this high insulin. So we're going to be looking at this problem through the lens of proteostasis. And so at a cellular level, you are breaking down proteins, converting into amino acids, then rebuilding it into other proteins. And so this is a recycling mechanism part of autophagy. This image explains really nicely the protein dynamics in the body. So we're intaking 70 grams of protein, breaking it down to amino acids, and then, but you see, we're also recycling 170 grams of protein. And so when we add the intake and the recycling, we get the total synthesis of 240 grams per day. So this is really interesting. So how, you know, a 60 kilogram person will have a complete protein turnover every 3 years. And so this recycling mechanism of protein is extremely important. Proactively clean these misfolded proteins and have our proteostasis running at a nice clip, because We're naturally, as we age, we're becoming more insulin resistant anyway. So we really need to be proactive and remove the proteins before they form plaques. And so remember, 88% of people have some type of metabolic dysfunction where this is happening to more or less a degree in their body. And so if we are able to get into the 12% that are metabolically flexible, our autophagy garage should look something more like this, where, you see we do not have a sugar burning system locking in our cellular cleaning guys. We have misfolded proteins here, but our mitophagy Pacman is able to, get out and pick them up, eat them, take them back to the lysosome recycling center. They'll be degraded and then recycled into new proteins. And so you see there's an open street where there is no insulin and sugar burning system inhibiting this protein recycling process. And this is why they call Alzheimer's sometimes type 3 diabetes, is because there is a heavy degree of insulin resistance. This insulin resistance then causes this protein aggregation, and then you get these plaques. And so this is the difference between a healthy brain and then versus a brain with Alzheimer's, which has plaques and tangles here. And so this process is playing out over decades. And so this is the metabolically flexible way to look at the autophagy garage, where our cellular cleaning guys, Pacman and Streetsweeper, they're easily able to get out of their garage, clean up their misfolded proteins, take it to the lysosome for degradation, and go back and then allow it to go into sugar burning mode for a little bit. And so that metabolic flexibility allows us, so we're able to have our brains can age healthy, and we don't have these plaques forming that disrupt our cognitive ability as we age. So 12% of the population here, 88% of the population is here to more or less degree. And so this is I think a really interesting and helpful way to look at this problem of autophagy and how well you are managing your blood sugars in a way that enables autophagy or it enables disease.